everyone. Well, as I made a stream last night, I was trying to find a problem in my car, and I finally did find it. So, if I hit the hazard lights work again. Okay, so now I've isolated the problem. Surprisingly, it was all because of the bull bar. Surprisingly. I'm hating a lot of things at the moment, so give me a second. Oh, I wish I had a drink. Anyway, so here's my indicator. And we isolate it to a green and blue wire where there was a stripe that was blue and the wire was green. Okay, so we found out that that was the problem. Trying to isolate where, front, rear, middle, couldn't identify that. So we figured out it's between the fuse box and, or the switch. I think it's between the switch and the flashes that we're trying to figure out where it is. So we weren't sure where to look. And then I was thinking about what my dad was saying. I was thinking about a bunch of things. I found out there was the right side, this side here was fine and it was working fine. But when I was looking for a problem, it's like a needle in a haystack. I eventually was like, you know, I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to think about what the vehicle has and what it's like. So I was thinking about likelihood of wires going kaboom. That was where I ended up going to at the end, because I was like, there's not really much chance of it being at the rear because I've already isolated that the rear is fine, and that was through some testing. So what I was doing was I was thinking about, well, which wires, like my dad said, we've got to find one that's touching the body, which wires are not actually insulated from the body very well. And I was thinking about it. Rear's kind of, but isolated issue, it's not the rear, we know that. Middle, check them all, they're all insulated. Front, however, I was like, oh, the front is the only ones that aren't really insulated, and we're having a problem here. So I came over, I was like, I wonder. So, what I know is the wires were feeding through this area here, and they contact straight onto steel. And so I was thinking to myself, well, there's these holes, and the wires were fed through these holes. I was thinking, this is the only place, I believe, that the wires could go kaboom, because when I was looking everywhere else, the hood's shut, by the way, it's all insulated and stuff. So this is the only spot that it could have gone wrong. So, with the bull bar on, we found there was actually, the wires were all behind this tube here and potentially rubbing. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of a rub mark right here, and that is where the short occurred. Now I've taken off some tape, but this is the section right here, right there, and I hate this focusing crap. It doesn't like to focus very well, does it? Okay, let's see if we can get this. I'm going to turn the camera around. This will make things just a little bit easier on me. So, okay, can you see that? That's where it was contacting, and if you look at it, there's your correlation right there for where it contacted. So it rubbed through the wire, and then it was just rubbing on there and holding there and breaking the fuse. This bracket was the thing that might have cut it open, or it's where it was rubbing or something, because this edge here was sitting almost right up against this edge here and cutting into the wires, and all the wires just sit there like so. So that's why the bull bar got taken off, because of all the wires were here on the sharp edge. So I was like, oh shit. So now that we've isolated where the issue is, I'm gonna cut the wire. I'm gonna actually make a new piece up for this, because this is just it's too dodgy. I mean, it's split right in the middle here, and there's nothing there. It's split over here now. I'm gonna cut it back here, where it's the insulation's rubbed off, because it's the best point. Maybe cut it a little bit ahead, and then strip the wire off and utilize that. Well, actually, I'll try to strip it first, pulling the wire forwards, and then cut it somewhere around this area, because don't want that. I am now using this shrink wrap stuff because it's professional and it works. I had actually one really difficult wire in the dash that I had to fix up because it was kind of dodgy. It had one of these going to 4 wires, and it was a power wire that was taking about 3.5 amps, and it was pretty small. It's like the same size as this, and this was the delivery wire for 4 other wires, and I was like, nah, it's a bit dodgy. And so I replaced that wire with some heavier wires. There's still small sections, but because I can't get new bits to put into the fuse box, I'm just going to have to go with what's there. By shortening it, at least it's less likely to have a lot of resistance. So there's my new wire. I'm going to snip this, put a new wire in here, and that should solve a whole myriad of problems. It is not really ideal to use a bigger wire than what you've already got, not really, or a smaller wire. Smaller wire will add resistance, a bigger wire will make a bit of a pull, which will allow, I don't know, there was some weird thing about here. The idea is you get the exact same size wire. Now I don't have to do this, but because this one here doesn't actually fit on here, I can't exactly do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip it and just do it like that. Or maybe I should cut it here. Maybe not, because I still need a new wire in there. I'm going to leave this alone, and I'm going to move on and get this job done, because I have to get it done. And I've missed out on hours of work that I could have possibly earned some money, but I've lost a bunch of money now. $200 for 2 days of work, plus I lost money, about $60 in auto electrician, and I've lost fuel. So that's not very good for me, because I can't afford rego for the car either, so that messes me up. 2 days will cover the rego, but I don't know if I have. Yeah, I'm in a financially shit position. So I was going to work a week, but unfortunately I am working a week, just not earning nothing, fixing a problem that didn't have to be there. So anyway, guys, I gotta go so I can solve this. This is what life is like for me now. This is why it sucks. And making videos just takes up time. I have to actually just do jobs. Bang, bang, bang. So anyway, thank you very much. You now got a bit of an insight on what I got to do. I'm going to check this side, fix this side as well if it requires fixing. Other than that, see you later, guys. Come on.